How's everybody doing? Today we'll be reviewing 2008's British thriller, Eden Lake. This is writer-director James Watkins' directorial debut. Damn, that was a powerful movie. If you've seen this movie, definitely let me know what you think of it. It's gritty, raw, brutal, and disturbing. This concept has been done to death, however, this time it succeeds in every aspect, intense and very suspenseful. Kind of reminds me of old school Wes Craven, kind of a Last House on the Left meets Lord of the Flies kind of vibe to it. I had a very similar feeling after I watched Last House on the Left. I've actually heard about this movie for a very long time, but I avoided it for so long because movies with this type of concept usually leave me pissed off. And this one did as well, but for a different reason. It was very well made and it certainly did its job. I really got caught up in this movie and I wanted to whip those little kids' asses. However though, I will say, coming from America, the dialects were a little hard to understand. I just wish I could understand half of what they were saying. There seemed to be a lot of mumbling and a lack of enunciation. I feel like it needed subtitles in some spots. It did have the cliche of them always dropping their weapons and running away, and leaving their source of protection and defense behind, and that always leaves me shaking my head. This happened about at least 5 times in this movie. But you get so sucked into this movie that it's all forgotten and forgiven. The tension builds right from the outset. You know something crazy is going to happen, and it certainly does. The movie's about a young couple that goes away for a romantic weekend to a secluded lake that's surrounded by woods in the middle of nowhere, and they find out that the area is soon going to be demolished to build a whole bunch of new houses, and it's called Eden Lake. And they think it's deserted, and they go there and they set up camp, and they run into a group of young kids, and the young kids end up being crazy little sociopaths that end up terrorizing the young couple. And the young couple have to fight for their lives against these crazy little sociopaths, and they have to find their way through the woods and get back to the town and try to save themselves. I just can't tell you how much I really enjoyed this movie. It really caught me off guard. I didn't think I was going to like it, but I ended up loving it. It's like I said before, this concept has been done so many times and has essentially failed. But this time, however, it succeeds in every aspect. It's just brutal, gripping, the tension is palpable. It really had my heart palpitating, and it just draws you in, and you really root for certain characters, and everything about this movie was on point. The acting was very well done across the board, especially the little kids and the parents as well. It's a moralistic horror movie. I feel like there is a bit of a social commentary as well with the interaction with the kids and the parents, kind of a disturbing pattern of child abuse and neglect. Obviously the reason the kids acted this way is because of their parents and that they were abused. Obviously the parents should have had the kids taken away from them because they were abusive. And it makes me think of all the horrible stories you hear on the news. And I had an ex-girlfriend of mine who was a social worker, and she would just tell me crazy horrible stories when she used to have to go to these houses and interview the kids, and just, it's really sad. The job of a social worker in child welfare, that's a really hard job, and you know, props to them. Like I said before, it kind of reminds me of old school Wes Craven, but with a new school take. Did anyone else notice the spray paint on the back of the sign, of the Eden Lake sign, when they first drive in? I noticed that right away. I was like, what is that? What does that say? I couldn't really tell what it said, but it was bright red spray paint. Let me know if you guys caught that. And I absolutely loved the ending. I heard so many people complain about the ending. I'm so glad that they went that route. It wasn't a cop-out. I loved it, especially at the end and the mayor. Oh, loved that scene. It made the movie even more perfect to me. Let me ask everybody who's seen this movie, do you think it has a lot of rewatchability value? Let me know. And also, to promote discussion, let me know what you think. Do you think that everybody got away scot-free? Do you think they ended up getting caught? There's just too much DNA and evidence? Or do you think, you know, like the one father says, you know, we take care of our own, situations and things like that? You think it all kept under wraps and nobody ever got caught? And do you think they got caught, or do you think they got away with it? Definitely let me know. It can be a bit of a tough watch, so I wouldn't recommend it for those faint of heart. It's a must-watch for a fan of brutal and disturbing horror. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. I absolutely loved this movie, and I can't believe I put off watching it for so long. If you're into moralistic horror, very thrilling, gripping, with brutal and intense thrills, this is highly recommended right here, Eden Lake. Again, if you've seen this movie, definitely let me know what you think of it. Leave me a comment down below, and I hope everybody's doing well. Take care.